I'm Leashya and welcome to Imperfect Permaculture. Today I'm going to share with you a concept created by Looby Macnamara, who wrote People in Permaculture, called the Design Web. And it's a really great tool for designing anything. And it's what I'm using to redesign my life. So I will share my own design web with you during this video, but also I created a PDF of a design web that is in the description below, so you can access that for free and use it as a guide to make your own. So the design web is basically a tool that breaks our design up into 12 parts. Vision, helps, limits, patterns, ideas, principles, integration, action, momentum, appreciation, reflection, and pause. And the reason that it's a design web is that all of those things connect to all of those other things, thus creating a web, which you can see here in my little design web here. And so what do these things mean? So vision, that's the dream. That's your vision of what you want, of what you're trying to accomplish. Helps, some of these are self-explanatory, but helps with the resources that you have that can assist you in bringing your vision to reality. Limits, again, pretty self-explanatory. The things that you have that, we can call them limits, obstacles. They're just some constraints. The constraints in our lives, whether they're financial, whether they're time-based, it's just being realistic about what our limits are. Patterns, we've talked about that a bit here. It's so important to recognize patterns when you're designing. Ideas, obviously, again, ideas. What ideas do you have about this vision? Or, what ideas do you have that go along with it? Principles. It's going to be applying the permaculture principles to this design and looking at how the principles play out in the design. Integration, that's bringing it all together. Finding out how it actually works when things come together. Action. When do we take action? What is the action to take? That's an important thing to look at. Sometimes the action is an immediate action, and sometimes it's a sometime in the future action, but we need to think about the times when action is required. Momentum. Obviously, whether we're in action or not, momentum matters. I know that for me, momentum is one of the things that I have been trying to maximize and enhance. I need to bring more momentum in, but that's all part of the design process and working the design. Appreciation. It's really important to appreciate what has been accomplished. It's important to appreciate what we do have. In my personal vision, it's important for me to appreciate the garden that I have here. It's important for me to appreciate the home that I live in here. Even though my sights are set on another place with a different garden and different capabilities, it's important that I appreciate along the way. That's going to keep me in a good, creative, a good state of mental health that's sustainable. So appreciation is very important. Reflection. Taking those moments to look back on what has been learned, what has worked, what hasn't worked. where were we last time, or last year this time? Reflecting. I believe reflection is an important practice no matter what you're doing. It is really important to reflect and learn from what we have observed. Pause. Pause, and again, you can see how these all work together. That's why it's a web. Pause is taking the moment of stopping action and what you do in that moment. Reflection, appreciation, whatever it is. But pause. It doesn't need to be go, go, go all the time. I say that for myself more than anyone else. Because although I don't go, go, go all the time, well, maybe I do. In my mind, I'm always going, so it's a little hard for me to differentiate. So scratch that. You know, the teacher always teaches what they need to learn. So here I am. And that's why I started this, was I need to learn how to do this. I need to learn how to manifest the things I want through design, through principles grounded in practice. And if I already had this mastered, I don't think the journey would be very interesting. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think part of the interest in the journey is what's going to happen. Is it going to work? I hope it's going to work. I have faith in the principles. I've seen it work in the garden. I don't believe that we're outside of nature, so I don't see why it wouldn't. So anyway, this is the tool that I go to the most when I am trying to decide what my priorities are, when I am struggling with unforeseen stressors, or struggling with very much foreseen stressors that I still have to struggle with regardless. Just anytime that I'm feeling like I need guidance, I go to my design web, because when I look at the web, I can pick a section of it that I need to work on that day, or that feels like it's the one that is the most needed that day. And I can take whatever emotions I'm feeling about it, or whatever story I'm telling myself, and apply it, pen and paper, to my design web. What do I need to think about if I'm feeling scared, alone? Then that might be a good day for me to look at my helps, for me to put my brain to work on focusing on what help I have. Where are my supports? What are my resources? What are my helps? That might not be the best day to look at my limits. Maybe I'm already very much in my limits. And like a real web, if we get too focused in just one area, that's not a web. That's not going to be an effective web. That's going to be a lopsided half a web. So it's a good reminder that all of these things are connected. When I'm feeling like I'm not doing enough, that could be a good day to think about pause, or reflection, or appreciation. It might not be the day to think about momentum. That might be, just a rough thing I could possibly use that to beat myself up with. So, but on days where energy's good, I'm feeling good, those are the days that I want to think about what is the next action, or take the action. What is the next action? What action can I take today that's going to make a difference in my life design? And certainly wanting to build a momentum that carries me along for a while. Knowing that, just like seasons, the momentum isn't going to stay constant, and it is going to waver at some point, but you take advantage of the energy while it's there. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, because it's a guide that can, you know, be available to you anytime you need it, and it doesn't just stop with the illustration of the web. I mean, that was a good place to start for me, and getting creative with how I drew my web so that I could really feel like it was mine. But then a lot of it is writing out, you know, just writing out what are my helps, describing the vision, you know, actually writing down what the vision is. There's a lot of neuroscience research about the effectiveness of writing things down instead of just keeping them in our heads. You can do some research on that. I'm actually reading a book and working through a book right now called Exploratory Writing. I'll give the title and author in the description, but that's one of my helps right now, because it's working with that neuroscience, working with the understanding that we can work out problems through writing. It's somewhat ironic because I'm a writer, but this isn't writing for other people, and it's also a little different than journal writing, because this is specific exercises that are meant to help get whatever problem I'm trying to solve around work. This book is specifically focused on work over you know, creativity. It's about using it to help you in your business and in your career. And so using writing in this way is interesting. It's new to me. You know, normally I look at writing as more of a, you know, an expression, a creative expression, and this is using it to rewire my mind, my brain even more. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes too. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, I'm sure I'll be coming back around and talking about the design web again in future videos, because it's just part of the design process, and the interactions between all of the elements are ongoing and important. And so it's just going to be a tool that I'm going to refer to a lot in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it interesting. Feel free to access the PDF so that you can have your own guide to make your own design web. Again, this is not my design. The design web is not of my design. This is from Looby Macnamara's book, People in Permaculture. But I think that it's a brilliant design, and so I'm happy to share it. And I do list her book below in the description as well. So again, thank you for being here. I hope that wherever you are, you're safe and well. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. If you liked this content, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. I'll definitely respond. And until next time, take care. Bye.